Let's talk about something a lot of us feel, but don't always know how to name. It's this idea of happiness and what to do when it just feels gone. Today, we're diving into a different approach, not about waiting for joy to find you, but about how you can gently, actively build it, even when you're really not feeling it.
You know that feeling? It's like you're going through all the motions. On the outside, everything looks fine, maybe even good. But inside, there's just this disconnect. It's an emotional flatness that, honestly, so many of us know all too well.
All right, first things first, let's just bust a huge myth right open. This idea that joy is supposed to be automatic. It's so important to just acknowledge that it's okay and it's normal to feel like you should be happy, but you're just not.
And it's not always about some big, dramatic sadness, right? Sometimes it's quieter than that. It's a kind of heaviness in your body. You wake up and you're not sad, you're just tired. There's this vague sense that something's off, something's missing, but you can't even put your finger on what it is.
And of course, that's when our brains can really start to turn on us, right? We start asking these kinds of questions. We scroll through social media, see everyone else's highlight reel, and we think, why can't I feel like that? If you've ever found yourself in that spiral, I promise you, you are so far from being alone in that.
Okay, so what's the move here? If that's how we feel, what do we actually do about it? Well, what if the answer isn't to try harder to find joy, but to start building it? This brings us to a really powerful idea, joy as an action. We're calling it the gentle push.
And listen, the keyword here is gentle. This is not about beating yourself up or forcing a smile when you don't feel it. It's the opposite. It's a kind, self-respecting choice to just participate, to show up for your own well-being in a small, manageable way. This is a total reframe for most of us. We're kind of taught that joy is this passive thing, like a butterfly we have to wait for to land on us. But the gentle push says, no, joy is active. It's not something you find, it's a choice you make. It's not some grand prize you achieve, it's something you build, one tiny brick at a time. I think this is so important. You can be having a tough day, you can feel completely flat, and you can still care about joy. You can still make one tiny choice that honors the part of you that wants to feel better again. It's not about faking it, it's about caring for yourself.
So this all sounds good in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in real life? Let's get into a story from our source material that makes this whole idea click. It really shows the incredible power of starting small, like really, really small.
So the storyteller describes this period in their life that wasn't exactly sad. It was more of a grayness, a feeling of being disconnected, like they were watching their own life play out on a screen from a distance. And the harder they tried to chase down that feeling of joy, the faster it seemed to run away.
So they made a decision. Stop chasing, start rebuilding. And the tool for this big rebuilding project? It was almost impossibly small. Drinking one single cup of water by the window every morning. That's it. It sounds too simple to work, doesn't it? But that quiet, consistent little action, it was a vote for self-care. And slowly, almost so you wouldn't notice at first, the flatness started to lift.
And that story just hits on such a massive truth, doesn't it? So often we wait for motivation to strike before we do the thing. We wait to feel better before we start. But what if we've got it completely backward? What if taking the action, starting, is actually how we begin to feel better in the first place? You see, that single habit of drinking water wasn't just about hydration. It was about where attention was being placed. And this idea scales up in a huge way. Whatever you consistently feed with your attention, that's what's going to grow in your life. Just think about it for a second. If you're constantly feeding your brain replays of your mistakes, what grows? Self-doubt, of course. If you feed it an endless scroll of other people's perfect moments, what grows is comparison. But, and this is the amazing part, the opposite is just as true. If you intentionally feed it small, good moments, gratitude grows. If you feed it gentle words, self-trust grows.
And you know, this isn't just some feel-good idea. It's literally how our brains work. It's neuroscience. Our brains build pathways based on what we do repeatedly.
You can train your brain to constantly scan for what's wrong, or you can intentionally teach it to start noticing what's right. You can build new roads for joy to travel on.
So let's bring this all home. I want you to think of this as your own personal, gentle invitation to start trying this out in your own life. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now with just one tiny action.
And we're not talking about overhauling your entire life here. Look at these. They are so simple. We're talking about stepping outside for 5 minutes of fresh air, drinking a glass of water before you have your coffee, tidying up just one corner of your room, sending a text to a friend, putting on one song you love. Each one is a small, quiet vote for your own well-being.
And ultimately, I think it helps so much to remember this. Joy isn't some reward you get for having a perfect life. It's a tool. It's a tool for resilience. It's actually the thing that gives us the strength to get through the hard stuff. It's not a luxury. It's an absolute necessity.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to force yourself to feel happy. Just ask yourself, what is one small, gentle thing you can do today to just crack open the door, even a little bit, and invite some joy in? Thank you for spending this time with me.